Hi everybody, we're the Babes of Bourbon. I am Megan Rudder.
And I am Eric Rudder. And today we are doing Is Weller Really That Special?
Is the Special Reserve Weller really that special, folks? Well, you're going to find out.
Yes, and we also have a bottle of the Antique 107. So we'll also do a review of that.
A little
one,
comparison.
too. Yeah.
Yeah. The main difference between the two products that Eric just informed me about, so now I just sound smart, guys. But it's the proof. For the most part, this Special Reserve Weller is 90.
Yes.
And the Antique 107 is, you guessed it, 107 proof.
Yes. And also, I mean, I don't know if there's anything about aging. They don't really put that out there. But it is the same mash bill, the undisclosed weeded mash bill. So
Mash bill 2, right?
yes.
From Buffalo Trace.
Yes, it's the Buffalo Trace mash bill. Well, I don't know if it's mash bill 2, but it's the weeded mash bill. I think mash bill 2 is technically like Blanton's.
I thought Blanton's was the weeded mash bill.
It is not.
Stop. Is
No.
it mash bill 3 then?
It's
It
like
has to be.
mash bill like 3 or 4. I don't
They
know.
only have 3. Guys, I'm just wrong here. Eric's looking at me like, you poor uninformed thing. But that's okay. Buffalo Trace has 3 mash bills.
Yes.
It's one of those 3. The wheated version.
Yes. So what mash bill 2 is, it's the high rye version, and then this takes the rye completely away, and it's instead of rye, wheat.
I knew that about the wheat, guys. Just so you know. I knew it about the wheat. I was just misinformed about the mash bill.
Yes.
But yes, what makes, like Eric just said, this one special is its high wheat content. And something I just learned that I found really interesting, because I always find history interesting, is that William LaRue Weller, who these bottles are named after, was like never actually a worker at Buffalo Trace. Which I was like, what? I thought all the products were like named after the people directly at Buffalo Trace, but nay. So over the course of history, Buffalo Trace has changed hands multiple times. It's had many different names, and William LaRue Weller actually had his own distilling and distribution company called W.L. Weller and Brothers, which turned into W.L. Weller and Sons. And actually, Pappy Van Winkle worked for Weller, wound up taking over his company, and after that, a while down the line in history, because Weller was around in the mid-1800s, the people that owned Buffalo Trace wound up buying basically W.L. Weller and Sons, whatever it was called at that time, acquiring Pappy, acquiring the Weller products, and now they have obviously Pappy Van Winkle, which incredibly sought after, as well as Weller.
Yes. So this is technically the same mash bill as Pappy Van Winkle.
See, that makes sense.
Yes.
Now that we talk about it.
I would say Pappy Van Winkle is obviously more quality controlled than the Weller brand. So, and different proof points in different areas of the Buffalo Trace distillery of where they age them.
Absolutely. Should we get started with the Special Reserve?
Yes, absolutely.
Did you want to tell them how we got this bottle?
We were in Kentucky, and we went to Buffalo Trace, and this was the bottle that they happened to have. So we got it for $30 at the distillery.
Yep. Oh, sorry guys for that beeping. That's the oven finally preheated. My apologies to the viewers.
God.
I know. How unprepared. Multitasking. Sorry, Eric. Retake the video. Just kidding. We're not doing that. Oh yeah, we were in Kentucky. We went to Kentucky, and like if you guys haven't been to Buffalo Trace, they will they'll always be carrying Bourbon Cream and Buffalo Trace, like the core products pretty much. But then every day they put out one of their specialty products, like Weller will be on the shelf, or Eagle Rare, or E.H. Taylor.
Yeah.
And once in a while they will also have Blanton's behind the counter. All of the products at this point in time are allocated, so the Weller bottles was only 1 per person every 3 months right now.
Yeah, so it's pretty hard to get.
Yeah.
which is going to be another part of this video, secondary pricing on the Weller products.
Yeah.
So
crazy. Because we got this bottle at pretty much MSRP because it was from the distillery for $30.
Mm-hmm.
Which is amazing. I'm also wearing my new green Bardstown hoodie, guys. You'll see this hoodie again in our Bardstown prisoner video.
Yes.
That will have to be soon. Anyways, back to the Weller.
So on the nose, I mean,
Has a sweet nose.
yes, very sweet.
I think this nose is honestly very pleasant, very fragrant, and this is a neck pour. Like, we just opened this bottle and the nose is very pleasant, which doesn't always happen in neck pours.
It's I would say almost a little appley.
Applebee's, apple. I hope it doesn't smell like Applebee's.
No.
No, but I get what you're saying though. When you were saying bees, I was thinking I'm actually getting some like honey, some honeycomb, a little bit of fruit, a little bit of floral, some vanilla.
Just like your nice typical sweet bourbon nose.
Yeah. You know what I like about this nose? I can actually like call out some different things that I smell where in some of our past videos, I don't know if you guys noticed, I was struggling to call like anything out. I'd be like, it smells like bourbon, caramel, vanilla. But this nose, I think it's very nice. Should we take a taste?
Absolutely.
Enough of sniffing, let's get to sipping. I do like this.
I'm getting a lot of caramel. I don't know what else I'm getting. Going in for another sip.
It's very, very sippable, very smooth. You get the like a very smooth caramel note, as well as I get a lot of wheat in it. Obviously, it's a wheated bourbon, but that like heavy grain at the end in the finish, that sticks with me.
Honestly, it's not the most complex thing in the world. It is pretty much caramel and wheat to me.
Yeah, very minimal oak in it. But that's the thing too about wheated bourbons is that they are more mild in flavor. They are not like flavorless by any means, but they were really produced to be easy sippers, which a wheated bourbon absolutely is an easy sipper.
Yeah, you're not going to get that big rye spice kick like the red hot cinnamon. You're never going to get that really. You're going to get more of like those mild fruits and honey and all that with it.
And for me, I do prefer either rye whiskeys or rye bourbons because I'm a big rye girl. I like the spice. But for a wheated product, I enjoy this very much. Especially with the fact that we got it for $30.
Yes.
Which is what it should sell for.
Yes.
Should sell for, folks.
Yep. We'll have to go deeper into that on our price and availability.
Did you want to
Finish.
Yeah. He means the finish, not commanding me to be quiet. Or were you? Just kidding.
Oh no, I was going on the finish of the bourbon.
Yeah. The finish is light. I would almost say long lasting though. It's almost like a vapor in my mouth where like a lot of other bourbons will sit on my tongue or sit in my chest. This, I can just like feel it on my breath.
Yeah, you don't really get the burn down here.
Not at all.
I would say it's a very light finish, but it does last. It's sort of like sort of those similar flavors, just lasts a little bit long, like the caramel and wheat finish through.
Do you want to go through the grading scale for it right away?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, guys. Nose.
I would say that's like the best part of this.
I would agree.
I'll give it a 1.5.
And for me, out of 2, I'm going to give it a 1.75. I do enjoy a nose that is more fruity, floral, and I can get some honey on it. Those aren't the flavors I prefer, but they are like the noses I prefer. The nosings, whatever you want to call it. Taste.
Honestly, I don't think it's that complex. It's like...
Solid, right?
Yeah, it's caramel. It's like your typical bourbon. I'm going to give it a 1.25.
Out of 3, I'm going to give it a 1.5 out of 3. I think it is right down the road. Mm-hmm. I think it's good. I think it's a good product. But like Eric's saying, there's nothing that's like, wow, I'm remembering this. But it is solid. I think this is a crowd pleaser.
It is, for sure. Finish.
Out of 2, I'm going to give it a 1.25.
Yes. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 2. I don't think, again, it's like the most complex finish in the world, but it is nice and I enjoy it.
Yeah. Now, pricing and availability.
Okay.
You want to go on the rant first?
Yes.
You go first. I got some bourbon left to sip.
At $30, of course.
Easy buy.
I would buy it. You're not going to find it though. You're just, it's never been in Wisconsin that I've seen.
Not on the shelves.
No.
For MSRP at least.
I've seen it on a couple Facebook posts down in Illinois. I've never been interested enough to drive down there to buy it. And secondary pricing is like $50+ dollars. I've even seen it on some websites for like $90 for a 750. I would think you're completely nuts if you pay that, to be honest. It is. It's not that special.
I would agree that this isn't that special. Here's my comment on that. If you have never had Weller and you're hearing everyone talk about it, there's no bars in your area that are whiskey bars. You can't find it. You have like one chance at it for $90. I can understand that because you just want to try the experience. But I would never continuously buy the bottles at that price. It is very overpriced.
Yep.
On the secondary market. And the fact that you like can't find the product, obviously it makes it sought after, makes it a little bit of a unicorn for some people. But to pay that much over MSRP, especially consistently, I do not believe is worth it. If you love Weller, you can't find it, I would encourage you to try some of the Maker's Mark products. Like Maker's Mark 46 or their cask strength.
Absolutely. The Maker's 46.
You can find things that are cheaper.
Even the regular Makers, it's not, I mean, it might not be quite as good as this, but for
it's not
similar
bad.
price, it's about
And available.
the same.
Yeah.
And you can find it at literally any liquor store. But yeah, if you want something with a little more complexity, I think the Maker's 46 is going to be right down that road. And it's about the same proof. I think it's about 93 proof.
And for this product, like at least the Weller Special Reserve, I don't look at the bottles that much for their actual names. I'm like green Weller, red Weller, blue Weller. That's how I think of it. So I always have to ask Eric when we're at the bar. I'm like, what is it really called? Because I'm going to sound so stupid. But anyways, it is a 90 proof. So in general, lower proofs aren't always like extraordinarily complex. As you get into more of the higher proofs and cask strengths, you get more.
Yeah. So
no cut at Weller.
Final score. Price at $30.
Great.
You're still not going to find it, so I'm going to give it a 1 out of 3.
I am also giving it a 1 out of 3 because, like Eric said, we happened to be at Buffalo Trace on one of the days that they had it, which is cool. But even if you're going to Buffalo Trace on your Kentucky trip, you could go 3 days in a row, and that doesn't mean they're going to have it on the shelf because it's completely random. They don't release ahead of time what it's going to be, so there's no way to plan out to actually find it. And if you're at liquor stores in Kentucky, they may have it on the shelf, but they're probably charging you $50, $55, $60, depending on how marked up that liquor store is.
Yep. And if you never had it, maybe.
Yeah.
I would skip it, but after drinking it, but
we're really like stringent on not paying over MSRP though.
Especially at liquor stores. I can understand if you had a friend that found something really special and wanted to make a little profit on it, maybe. But
Yeah.
at a liquor store, come on.
And it's hard for us too because like there's so many bourbons out there. There's so many things we want to try, and we can get things for MSRP pretty easily if it isn't a Buffalo Trace product. So for us to go that far over is like, not for us. But that's not saying so my final score was a 5.5, which I think is a solid score for this.
So I did not do the math at all. So the score will be underneath. I think it's about a 5.
Yeah, it was about a 5. I think yours was just a little less than mine. I'm gonna go easy on this pour because we're right at the end.
Yes.
Let's see what we got here, folks. Let us see. I'm gonna do a real little pour. This is my cousin's favorite, so we gotta save a little bit for her.
So right away, sort of like when we did the Elijah Craig video, the nose, it's very similar, but the extra
better.
alcohol makes it better.
Absolutely. I would say the nose is like the same nose, but stronger, better, more flavorful.
Yep, and there might be a couple other notes in here. Maybe it's stronger on the honey, for sure.
Is it?
In my opinion. Could be different
Yeah.
for everybody.
I'm sniffing like too deep in it, and it's a higher proof, and I'm like, wait, my nostrils! I didn't open my mouth!
And there's a little vanilla on this one for sure, too.
Yes, there definitely is vanilla there. Alright, I'm ready to take a
Dive
sip
in.
of this one.
So the taste, to me, is completely different for a little bit. I still get the caramel, but I'm almost getting like cherry notes in there. And
I would agree with you, like dried dark fruit. I'm never sure if it's cherry, dates, or figs, which I know cherries are different than dates and figs, but when they're that dried and rich, they kind of give off that similar flavor profile.
And I would throw that vanilla's coming in there too.
How much is that bottle at MSRP?
I believe it's $50 at MSRP.
If you could get that at MSRP, I would absolutely get it. Like, the difference between the Special Reserve and the Antique 107, huge.
It's definitely worth the $20 difference at MSRP.
Yes. I would completely agree.
Yes.
Nose on this one, I am going to give it a 1.75 again. What are you
I'm
gonna
going
give
to
it?
up it to 1.75 because it really is quite much better where it's really coming through.
For flavor, I'm going to give this one a 1.75. So I think the last one I gave a 1.5. This one I'm going to take it a step up.
I am doing the same thing. I am going to increase it just slightly to 1.75. I think I really enjoy this one quite a bit more. It has like that vanilla cherry note in addition to the caramel.
Yeah.
You're really getting more flavor out of this one.
I agree. Like that one, I think that one's pretty tasty. And again, for me, my flavor, like I still gave it the 1.75 because it's wheated. And to me, that doesn't appeal to me as much as a rye. So if I compared, that's why it's at that range, but I think it's very good. Finish, I'm going to give it 1.25 out of 2. I don't think it's super remarkable. I don't think it's bad either. It has a very similar effect in my body as the first one did.
I agree. I'm giving it a 1.25 as well. It does last a little bit longer and it's a little more complex, but it's not that much of a noticeable difference.
Absolutely.
Now, do you want me to do the rant again on the finish?
No. The pricing and availability. No. I'm giving it the same price as I did before. A 1 out of 3 for the exact same reasons.
Yep.
Like, especially with it being the Antique 107. They're going to overcharge you out the wazoo for it, which is really frustrating.
Yep. So we actually got this bottle the first time down in Kentucky. And I was like, I want the whole Buffalo Trace lineup. We're there the first time. And I decided to overspend. I think we got it for like 85 compared to 50.
Yeah. So
Which,
that's an example like we said in the first one where if like you find it, you've never found it, you want to try it, like go ahead and try it. Just don't keep paying that price forever.
yes.
Go to Ohio. They have a map where you can like find Weller because they're not allowed to put it over MSRP, which is pretty cool.
If you've never ever tried it before, I would cap your price at $100. Don't go too much. Don't go more than that if you can help yourself.
Don't do it. It's like even $100 is a big
Yes.
ripoff, but if it's important to you, sometimes that's worth it.
Yep. I would give this one again 1 out of
So is Weller really that special?
At MSRP,
Yes.
absolutely. At the prices they're charging on secondary market,
No.
and but yeah, absolutely. I would not buy this for anything over double retail.
That's a good rule.
Yeah.
Don't buy something for over double retail. Always check the MSRP before you buy it.
And that pretty much goes with the whole Weller lineup. We've tried a couple of the samples.
What's the blue one?
I think that was Weller Foolproof or Weller. Yeah.
I recently tried the Foolproof Weller, the blue label. It was very, very good. It was worth the pour. We didn't get the whole bottle, but
yeah. Again, I would not go over and pay the more than what their retail is. In the most part.
I think especially with Buffalo Trace, I think people get a little carried away. We've been there too though, where we got a little carried away with Buffalo Trace. The history is amazing. The distillery is a historical landmark. The master distillers and the owners in the past, like, they're the big names on the bottles. It's really cool to get your hands on this stuff, but don't get carried away to the point that you're getting completely ripped off and your wallet is hurting because of it.
Absolutely.
That's our money spiel for you guys. I'm telling you how to spend your money today.
Yes, we are budget concerned, by the way, so.
Very budget concerned. Well, you've seen how many like different bottles we have on the channel. Like we wouldn't be able to get as many bottles as we do if we didn't pay very close attention to what we were paying for them. Thanks to Aaron. I just complain when I think he's bought too many bottles, but they're usually for MSRP.
Yes.
9 times out of 10. Shoot, what was I gonna say, honey?
I don't know, like, subscribe.
Yeah, those things. Like, comment on our video. Tell us what you think. Do you like Weller? Have you tried Weller? It's a great product.
Just wish it was more available.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us on Instagram. All those things. Like,
All the good things.
just give us the love.
Yeah. Give us the love. Eric sits and literally watches the subscriber count like every day. He'll be like, babe, got a new subscriber.
Well, you gotta double check. You gotta check once a day.
That's true. So just so you guys know, you're absolutely making our days by watching our videos, following our channel, subscribing, liking, and all those things. So thank you so much for feeding our bourbon buying addiction.
Yes.
And giving us a reason to drink at least once a week.
Woo.
Anyways, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And yeah, be safe out there. Drink some bourbon for us.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.